It is a new month. It means it's time for a new beta patch for Hearts of Iron 4. And today we have a look at the new Canadian Communist path, which is kind of cute. Plus, they've got lots of other tweaks and bug fixes to make the game obviously more optimal. My favorite is fixed typo in Bulgarian reintegration campaign. And this is what the community wanted. Fix the extra word in the Alpine supremacy description. The community has been asking for this for ages. Thank you, Paradox. German, Japanese, and British trees will now hide the obsolete branches if unrelated game rule is turned on. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't do that for the Italians, though. Maybe they fixed that. If you were to go for, like, say, Colto El Deuce, this path and this path would disappear. But does it still do that? I actually don't know. Last time I checked, it didn't. But maybe it does now. Who knows? The French and USA focus trees will now hide the obsolete branches if the related game path is turned on. These are good features. This is a quality of life kind of stuff, this, because at the end of the day, it's really frustrating to have these massive focus trees, but most of it becomes redundant when it doesn't hide. The best example is the Spanish focus tree. It's like, well, you scroll back and like, whoa, wow, duh, wow. And then you select this path and you get like 20 focuses. Underwhelming. Yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Added a new alt focus history branch to the Canada's communist path, allowing further reduction of the Great Depression, war goals on the United States, and various other benefits at the cost of being unable to join or create factions. So yeah, it is what I expected. So it's kind of like the Portuguese Fourth Empire or the anarchist path, Fifth Empire, I'm sorry. So just to give you a short version, it gives you cool buffs. You can't join factions, and what it just allows you to do is go on a chaotic world conquest. It's basically the same as the anarchists as well, the anarchist Spain. And now we've got the anarchist communist path, I presume. That's a short version of it, I suppose. Germany now starts with 80 transport planes instead of 4. Once again, the community wanted this for a long time. I'll be real, this is actually a big deal because this basically means now you can paradrop from the very beginning of the game. I wonder if there's some kind of wonky strategies where you can paradrop into the UK like immediately. Probably there isn't the range, is there? Tweaked the Ethiopian balancer power to decrease the risk of a country's collapse. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So that tells me the event is less likely to happen when you have full control of the Messerschmitt and the Wakanda. It's a rebellion that happens at either end if you have low stability and full control of either the aristocrats or the emperor. Looks like they've reduced the chance of it. I thought the chance was actually too high. I've never actually made it happen organically, though. You know, like when the whole thing made the correct decision for the Italian-Ethiopian Empire available when controlling rather than owning the states. So what it's saying here, when you create the puppet state of East Africa for the Italians, which is what you do later on after you've annexed Ethiopia, you've got the option now to core additional states just by controlling them, not owning them. And what's the difference between owning and controlling? It basically means if you're in a war with someone, it's controlling. If you peaced out in a peace conference, you own it. There's a bunch of weird situations in Hoi 4 where you've got to own something, which creates just weird scenarios. One example, which is coming up on the next one, is you've got to own Palestine to move the capital to Jerusalem for the Ethiopians, but now they basically allow you to do it just by owning Jerusalem. I presume that's what it means. There you go. Make Ethiopia the capital. Now you can do that. So now that means you can get the achievement for conquering Kenya and all this region and coring it as Ethiopia. That's an achievement. You get an achievement for going down the King of Kings path. Is that an achievement? I forget. And then there's another achievement to move your capital to Jerusalem. Has you got a core on this? Is this a core or is this a state? It's a core. Wow, Palestine. Amazing. And I did this without cheating. How was that possible? Improve the regional supply depots. National folk spirit for Ethiopia. National supply depots. I thought it was one of these ones. Oh, it's this one. It's this one. It's grants reduction of division attrition by 25%. It used to be 30%. Non-combat out of supply penalties minus 10%. Interesting. And supply consumption minus 15%. We have prayed. Well, I have prayed. I prayed to Paradox. I said to them, please, if you're an African nation, give us supply reductions. You're in your own continent. You're in your own backyard. Surely you should have less supply than the imperialists. To be fair, this is a really good change. But kudos to Paradox for this. I would have got more than 15%, but 15% is very generous. So credit to them. This is really good. Really good. Really good. I made the decision for Ethiopia to collaborate with Italy as a monarchy as well as fascist. So he's referring to the reach out to the Italians path. So now you've got the option to be non-aligned as well as fascist, depending on what path you go down. Interesting. All right, added camels for the Sultanate of Assar. Yes! Oh, yes! This is what I wanted. That's it. Now we've got a brand new game. Multiple investments at the same time. Oh, that's so good. So one of the most frustrating things about Hoi, generally, is that sometimes when you do a decision, it locks you out of doing other decisions that are like it. For instance, one of the old ones was investing into states in Ethiopia. There's a path here. I think it's rebuilding the country, where you've got the ability to invest into states inside of Ethiopia, but you have to do them one at a time, which is really frustrating. I wish Hoi 4 wouldn't do this that often. If I have unlimited political power and unlimited civilian factories and unlimited equipment, I should be able to bash through all the decisions one by one in parallel. Regardless, that's a really good feature. You can do the investments now all at the same time. Disabling construction of railway lines on the map will remove them from the construction UI. I don't know what that means. Delete building button should now be usable on UI scaled. Oh, it's basically if you've not got the right scaled UI. If you have a hover mouse over in the invasion arrow, it will follow the path. Will be visible if overlapped by another one. These are cool UI improvements, I guess. Visual improvement of the create faction window. Okay, I don't actually know how that's any different. Now, the army theater groups will show the reinforced priority. Armor theater groups. Listen, Paradox, listen to me, okay? I'm going to have a moan here. This is my personal moan. Basically, no one else cares about this feature. It's just me. So if you ever include this in the next patch for Hearts of Iron 4, you did it because feedback asked for it. Nobody else asked for it. But here's my little pet peeve, all right? Hear me out here. So what you do is you right-click onto create a new theater for your air wings. Brilliant. You've got German air theater, and you customize it. You go, wow, Europe, air wings. And then I give it like an icon because I'm like customizing it. I'm giving it customization. It's a red eagle. Ooh, nice, red eagle. Wow. Amazing, right? And I grab my, let's say, tactical bombers and move them here. And I'm like, yeah, let's bomb this region. But I want to do them a close air support mission. So we click it and like, there we go, close air support. It's so easy, right? Oh my goodness. This is what I asked for all along. Right? Wrong. If I press X right now, it basically removes them from the Europe air wings. Yeah, it removes them. So X is the hotkey for close air support. I press X. Look what's just happened. It basically ungrouped them from the air wings. This is the most annoying feature in the game. To be fair, this dates back to a lot of issues with Hoi in the olden days, where a lot of the hotkeys aren't specifically assigned to any key. And what's happened here is the people who have assigned the hotkey for close air support have forgotten that this is also X as well. I'm sorry, but this really pisses me off. This is one of my little pet peeves that really annoy me. And I realize this annoys me more than the average person because I use hotkeys a lot. And that's probably the reason why there is no hotkey manager in Hoi 4 or hotkey binder, because no one uses them, I guess. Okay, the rest of them are just bugs. We're not worried about that. But what we really want to check out today, is Canada. We'll play like a really quick game of Canada, like a super lightning fast one with the new focus path and just see how it goes. Alrighty then, so we first go for patriation. Then we can burn the royal portraits. I feel like in the old days of Hoi, everything was so much more one-dimensional. Like you either went for historical on the left or ahistorical on the right. It was like, it was so transparent. Okay, so we burn the royal portraits and that gives us, we have to be fully independent. So so there's two choices here. You either use the game mechanics. Oh, I've just figured out a big exploit. The devs are going to hate me for this. I'm going to go ahead. Do you want to see the exploit, the new focus tree? Oh, they're 100% going to patch this now. Okay, there is a chance they probably thought of this, actually. They may have already thought of this. If they play tested this thoroughly, they should have seen this loophole that I'm about to do. So we're going to hire the communist revolutionary, and we can only go for this one after we've become communist and fully independent from Britain. So naturally, you do that by doing the political autonomy system, but that takes forever. So the way around it is to use the communists on the right as decisions. And by those things, we are able to do them as well. That's so dumb. I love it. I love it. And, yeah, so prepare for the civil war. Now we need to reduce stability below 50%. And then we basically cause the civil war. Expand the civilian support, which reduces stability by a large amount. We're not selecting a focus. That way we can gain political power a lot quicker. Then we can expand civilian support, which gives communism a little bit. And it also loses your stability. You just do this to lose stability because you want to get below 50% stability. When you declare civil wars, though, you immediately break away from your puppet. And you also immediately change ideology. So I have a funny feeling this is what's going to cause to break it. Anyway, expand civilian support. We're dropping below 50% stability now. And then immediately when we're below 50%, we can ignite a civil war, which puts us at war with ourselves. Ignite civil war. Bam! We have the Canadian Popular State. Oh, look at that flag. Is that flag new? But the beauty of this now is we're communist and we're also at war. Are you guys figuring out where this is going? Have you figured out where it's going? We're at war. It's kind of nice you've got the option to do it two ways, though. So I would say that this is working as intended. Is this working as intended? Or am I breaking the game here? I don't know. Anyway, deploy the boyos. There's not even any ports here, so there's no point. And then the rest of them just go here. So you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, this is a really quick way of changing ideology. So that's not really an exploit, is it? No, it's not an exploit at all. These are game mechanics. I'm just using game mechanics. It's just normal gameplay. So it's not fancy. It's not different. It's not original. But there's one other piece of the puzzle here that I'm not shown. That when I show you it, you're probably going to be like, oh, God, no way. No way. No way they didn't think of this. Oh, no, they block us right in the right location, too. Just go around the outside. Round the outside. Okay, now we've done the communist. Let's have a look. The Communist Labor Total War Committee, which gives us a little bit of factory output. I don't understand why they would do 2%, though. That feels really low. But just give a massive 20% boost. So now we're going to do the new focus path. The People United grants party popularity modifier, which is sweet, and recruitable pot, which is also sweet. It's what Canada needs because Canada's got low population. So it's nice that they thought about Canada for this. Isn't it nice when Paradox thinks about Canada? Isn't that cute? Anyway, the second part of this is when we go through all these focuses, which you'll see very soon. I'll actually admit this Civil War is a little bit harder than I remember. I think there was a way of making it easier by sending equipment to somebody else, but I can't actually remember. It was such a long time ago. Okay, this focus is bypassed and it's removed. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Okay. They have actually thought about it. For some reason, this reactivate the farmer's utility or it's bugged. It could be bugged because you can only do this whilst at war. So why is it skipped? But because it's skipped, I haven't got rid of Great Depression. What you could do at this point is by going for defense of the Canadian, you could still get rid of the Great Depression by using the regular mechanics. Anyway, guys, this is the new patch. If you want to check out the new patch, what you have to do is go into here, click properties and click betas and click open beta. This will make all your mods incompatible. And also be aware it's going to be horrendously buggy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. And check out the next video. The next video is right here. This one. Give it a click. Ooh, clickety click. Clickety click. Give it a click.